Hey, e-commerce Fastlane listeners, the holiday season is just around the corner, and now is the perfect time to level up your inventory planning. Now, you can join our 7-day inventory planning bootcamp and learn how to keep your stock optimized, your costs down, and your profits soaring, all just in 1 week. Now, each day you'll receive a quick, actionable email packed with expert tips and strategies to help you avoid stockouts, reduce excess inventory, and drive more sales. Now, it's designed to be simple and efficient. Now, each lesson takes less time than it is to finish your morning coffee. Now, during the bootcamp, you're going to gain valuable insights on assessing and analyzing your inventory performance, intelligent demand forecasting, strategies to reduce your excess stock, ordering inventory on a budget, evaluating technology solutions to inventory planning and management, and implementing a continuous improvement mindset. Now, are you ready to ensure that your store is stocked and prepared for the holidays? This bootcamp will equip you with the essential skills to set appropriate stock levels, to improve demand forecasting, and optimize your inventory management practices. You'll learn how to prevent cash from being tied up in excess stock while avoiding costly stockouts that can frustrate customers and impact your bottom line. Now, don't let the holiday rush catch you off guard. Take control of your inventory and set yourself up for success for a smooth and more profitable season. Now, this bootcamp is perfect for e-commerce entrepreneurs, especially those that are powered by Shopify who want to maximize their holiday sales potential while minimizing their inventory-related headaches. Now, you can sign up now at ecommercefastlane.com/inventory-planning, and you can start your journey to smarter inventory management today. Now, don't miss this opportunity to transform your inventory planning before the holiday rush.
You're listening to E-commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company, powered by Shopify. Listen to real conversations with partners and subject matter experts as they share proven practical strategies, platforms, and the best Shopify apps to help you accelerate your business. The time is now for you to improve efficiencies, grow revenue, profit, and lifetime customer loyalty. Please welcome your host, startup founder and strategic advisor, Steve Hutt.
Welcome back to another episode of E-commerce Fastlane. I'm your host, Steve Hutt, and today my guest is Dylan Lamb. He's the founder of a company called Omirank. It's OMIRANK.com. Now, Dylan really is a seasoned growth marketer. Has made quite a name for himself online, more around the Amazon kind of selling space, really helping entrepreneurs to scale their businesses from 5 and in some cases up to over 7 figures in sales. So it's pretty impressive the kind of work that he and his team are doing with brands. His journey is, I would argue, not your typical success story. I know he's kind of architect this thing, and he calls the art of the unconventional launch is kind of like the words that I see being spoken about him online. And it really is a strategy that turns kind of traditional kind of e-commerce wisdom on its head. And Omirank, isn't just another digital marketing agency. I don't want to use the word laboratory, but it really is. Conventional kind of Amazon selling tactics are kind of dissected and reimagined and then rebuilt for maximum impact for a brand. And I think what's unique about Dylan, really that kind of sets him apart, is his approach to Amazon selling. I think where most sellers are kind of fighting for visibility in the Amazon ecosystem, which we know is very challenging. Dylan's strategies really are more focusing on building a brand presence kind of outside of Amazon, and then kind of leveraging a lot of these external momentum that you've created, how you can then dominate that platform. So it's a counterintuitive approach. It's something that I've never done with the brands that I used to manage at Shopify. It was always kind of adding Amazon on as an extra channel, just because go where the customers are, or some of them are, and put some of your products there and just kind of see if there's product market fit there or not. Dylan has a whole different angle. So that's what I really want to talk about. I know there's some long-held beliefs about Amazon selling and a little bit about crowdfunding and stuff like that. So I think we're going to dig into a lot of different areas about Kickstarter, I hope. And because I've done a little bit of research before recording, so I'm really excited to unpack a lot of this. So hi, Dylan. Welcome to E-commerce Fastlane.
Thank you, Steve, for having me. You literally have that intro bread and butter by myself,
Yeah, I loved unpacking my guests kind of before I record, because I think, everybody has a past, and, everyone has digital footprints out there, and you can kind of get out there and see the topics and conversations and kind of where you've been and what you've done and case studies and things like that. And it's pretty epic, some of the things that you've been working on, and the brands that have just had like incredible success. And it's all because of some processes and systems unique. That's why I wanted to have you on the show. There's a lot of people selling on Amazon or selling in marketplaces and having a direct consumer brand. You think it's just kind of a rewash of what other people are doing, and that's completely not the case with you. And that's why we only do 50 shows a year. You're one of them. And so that means a lot that I believe you have a really good story to tell. So, talk a bit about like kind of what drew you. I'd like to ask this question. What drew you to the e-commerce industry? There's so many like business opportunities for people to explore as an entrepreneur, but you've chosen to kind of be involved in the e-commerce industry.
Well, e-commerce industry is definitely a tight spot to be. Back in the days, it was like 2015 that I guess started, or 2014 actually, I guess started on eBay and then transitioned to Amazon. Back in the days, like Wild West, you can literally put up anything on Amazon and it will sell.
Right.
Literally anything. It was back in the days. And we were like, okay, let's do it. Let's put it on Amazon. Let's just bring anything from China to Amazon. We were doing white label, and then we just test out like in a hard way. Like if I would do it again nowadays, I would definitely validate the idea first before I do it in a hard way. Whereas I would just think about, is there any potential when it comes to data? Because there's a lot of tools right now. Like in the days, there's Helium 10, Jungle Scout. So yeah, I mean, back in the days, like we were selling, we were agency as well, because we're bootstrapping our brand. Right now, we are multiple seven figures owners and also a agency owner as well.
Yeah. It's amazing. I know you kind of transitioned a bit from what I understand from kind of doing PPC. Maybe that was part of the agency world. And then now founding Omarank. Yeah, and I'd call it a digital agency, because I think there are some done-for-you services that you actually do. We also have a large community and some events and meetups and these sort of things. And so one service that I see that you offer, I think it's called the Product Launch Formula. Can you talk a little bit about what that exactly is?
So the product launch formula is it targets people like more advanced seller, because most of the seller who were just started on Amazon, they were just thinking, okay, I'll just stamp my logo, put it on Amazon and become like a private label and run a few deal and run my Amazon PPC, and that's it, right? But in fact, even though if they do it in that process, the fail rate is still high. Like it's going to be around 70% that you're going to fail, because 70%, there's a lot of factors, of course, like the time to be market, the product, whether or not the competition is there, the timing, and also the life cycle, right? Your life cycle could be just 2 years, could be just like a seasonal, right? Could be just like 3 months, right? So when sellers just go on to tools like Helium 10 and Jungle Scout and then just going to sell on Amazon, what they're lacking is the validation process. The way a proper validation process should go 4 steps. That 4 step would comes from engagement validation to data validation to commitment validation, and that is what we normally help our client to do, because they all what they want to do is increase the success rate when it comes to launching a product.
Right. Okay. So what are those 4 steps again? I love taking notes and I love sharing this kind of stuff. So, if you can go over those again, that'd be great.
Yeah. So the first step is about engagement test. Okay. So run an engagement test which is the lowest cost on Facebook. Just create a poll. That just creating a poll actually giving you a lot of impact, because you would sort of gauge that whether or not people are really interested in the product that you're selling, right, what problem you're solving. Just go on to the targeted group, just create a poll, and then you will know whether or not you have any like a conversation starting. If there's conversation starting, or if there's like people engaging to your post, then you will sort of know that it's going to be Facebook ad worthy, because you cannot run Facebook ad. It means that your product is just going to be a commodity. It's a product that is not going to be able to scale as a brand, right? Because when we sell on Amazon right nowadays in 2024, we have to think about as in the brand views. If you don't create a brand, you're just trading. And
Right.
trading is no longer work right now. And therefore, branding is important. So back in stage 1, depot, and of course, a higher end is that faster result could be Pickfu. You can use Pickfu to find out whether or not you have any potential by asking more in-depth question. But what I see is like both of them works well. Secondly, on stage 2, once you know that there is engagement, then you want to sort of know that whether or not there's enough audiences for your product. For example, if you're selling tea, right? So who is your first come to mind tea will be stay-at-home mom, right? So say if that's stay-at-home mom, that will be one prospect. Like how about today have prospect 2, prospect 3, and that's what we want to find out whether or not if there's more audiences. Right? And once we know that there's more audiences, then we're gonna do like a traditional. Because I come from a dropshipping background, what I do is I just launch ad, test ad, whether or not if we get engagement, and we'll sort of gauge that, what's the CPC, what's the CPA, right? And then we will know that is there any like a data point to validate whether or not if this is a good product. You can launch it on Google, Facebook, or even just Amazon, right? Amazon, you run PPC ad campaign, and then you will just look at the CPC data. But really, you will want to launch in a social platform to find out whether or not the data adds up, because those are the people who will really buy a product in the future. Whereas on Amazon, if you just launch it on Amazon, you're just looking at the high intent data, which sometimes is not quite accurate when it comes to converting people in the long run. So when it comes to the stage 2, we run it. Okay.
Right.
And in stage 3, we will look at in stage 1 and stage 2, what ad is actually working, what audience is working. You're going to prospect at least 5 people. If you know that your product can have at least 5 different audience will buy from you, it means that your product is being validated in a big way already. Because if you're just selling a commodity like just a bamboo chopstick, right, then you might have just 3 audiences. Then it's going to limit you. Maybe just you can scale maybe max 7 figures or multi 6 figures. But then you won't be able to build a brand in the long run. You won't be able to build a community in the long run. And the community is the one that will really help you in the long run for your future branding.
Right.
Right. As a result, like you validate the product, and then in stage 3, you validate the prospect, the audiences, and then validate the commitment at stage 4. So in stage 4, you really want to ask them, hey, okay, now I'm going to create a landing page. You would just pretend that you are really, that product is on sale already. And then you just ask people, hey, would you like to commit £1, £2, or £3 in this product? This is a pre-launch order. If you want to do it, if you want to get it, we'll give you a cheaper price, a certain perks like a bonus or bundles, right? If you buy right now, you will for sure get that. And then once you know that, people is really buying that, there's like maybe you get 100 lead from stage 3, and then there's like, there's 20 people buying it, 20 people paying me pounds, $1. It means that, cool, I know that this product is going to convert well in the future. And now you did validate your funnel already. And that product, you can either launch on Kickstarter or Amazon or Shopify or even Walmart. You will still find your way to build a profitable brand. So that goes against traditional people who just sell on Amazon. I mean, back in the days when I sell on Amazon, because I don't have to do anything else, I would just spend time on the keyword, BSR, listing, that's it, right? It's easy. That's why I launched on Amazon back in the days, right? And that really started my first brand. My first brand is not a brand that could scale. It's like just a generic brand. Right? And that makes me start a second brand that I can scale that brand past 7 figures, because I know that I can build an audience afterward. And so validating a product is really important.
Yeah, I love these steps. So I had them all written down. So the engagement test, check the audience, then take a look at the data and talk about the engagement and the audience, and then the commitment side. And I've seen a lot of people maybe not using third-party solutions, like going to Kickstarter or Indiegogo, or Walmart or Amazon, and launching there, just launching on their own direct-to-consumer site, just seeing that you've kind of proven ahead of time. So I think the flip side to this is people just putting a prototype up and not even making it, or it doesn't even exist yet. And they kind of get that up there and just to kind of see. And I think this is kind of what you're talking about, the engagement and the audience and trying to figure out what's the total addressable market here. Are people interested in it? And then after analyzing that data, then are there people willing to commit to the product? And if there is, on a pre-launch with a discount, as you said, I think that's pretty powerful. That I think a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of work because it requires a team sometimes, or it will be a lot of work to just set up all the platform. That's why people would just like, oh, I'll just go on Amazon and that's it.
Yeah. It's interesting about the community that, one thing you said, and I totally agree with you on this, is that, community really is crucial for a direct-to-consumer brand. A lot of them is like the retention and the loyalty side of the business, because we know, which is going to be a good pivot in a second. I'm going to talk about PPCs in a minute, but, a lot of times brands that, that are selling and they go through this process that you've talked about here, and they go for a launch. And then driving net new customers to your business, usually it's kind of like it's break even. Sometimes it's net negative sometimes. And then you're thinking about, well, what can I do from the retention side, the loyalty side? How do I don't know, create this sense of belonging, which then I think leads these higher retention rates, kind of increase brand loyalty. Then they're more apt to buy a second product, a third product. And then it goes down to the word of mouth that happens because of the community, right? And so what's your take on the whole community building process kind of post-launch?
The reason why we first, back in the days, we started launching product on Kickstarter, because we knew in Kickstarter, there's already a really building community inside.
Yes, that's true.
And therefore, like, we know that the building community is so engaged. I know there's a lot of people saying that like Kickstarter is a scam because they don't deliver. Firstly, we don't care about that because we use Kickstarter as in a marketing platform. We know that we can deliver because we already have the product developed. Whereas those people who are scam because they are just an innovator, and then they just don't know anything about business. But then, anyway, our process on Kickstarter is more of like community is there. We use them to help us get our name out there. Each time we launch on Kickstarter, it's actually an additional avenue for us to acquire a customer for the branding, for the email list. And then the more time that you launch on Kickstarter, the bigger you build on the community. And therefore, it will just foster a repeat purchase and lifetime value in the long run.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. Learning so much. I'm writing down like a ton of notes here because I think these are the kind of things that need to get out there that I think a lot of people don't realize kind of what needs to happen. What about these PPC costs though? Because I think the prices are going up and, we're in Q4 right now. It's not just Meta and Google, it's Amazon PPC, just because where there's business, there's competition, and where there's competition, supply and demand. And so what have you found kind of the most effective strategies for helping sellers to kind of maintain some profitability, but still driving traffic to their listings?
The way that we see is, one is actually suffering increasing in cost in Amazon PPC, because this is what the platform designed. They designed it in a way that they each other compete with each other, and then in a way that like the algorithm should actually the algorithm actually makes it like there's rank prices, that there's ranking juice from Anthony, and then there's also like honeymoon period to just like make sure that the relevancy of the product is going to be relevant to the bidding that you're bidding, and therefore everyone have their own score when they're trying to outbid others, right? And so everyone is suffering the same thing: high cost, and then higher competition and fewer margin, right? And therefore, the way that we see this is, to be fair, information is quite transparent. How do you run a campaign? What type of campaign, like gold panning, Ngram, or triple threat? Everyone sees the same. Everyone's doing the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. Or like we do, like say we play like lightning deal. We use lightning deal and deal per day, like in a way that is like very innovative. Like we will increase the price for it and decrease the price, and then like we will make sure that in Prime Day that our price is actually higher than before, and then we drive revenue. To be fair, information is out there. Like people who don't know about those information, it's just like they are not there. They haven't heard of other people. So the way that we see this is, since everyone is having the same information, the only way to get advantage is to rely on external traffic to you're sending consistent signals to Amazon, and Amazon will know that, oh, this guy actually is not just running an Amazon ad. They have quite a good concept of one conversion and utilization percentage, right? Compared to others, like maybe they're the same, right? So how are you going to be sustained, and how are you going to outweigh people? Firstly, of course, the fundamental, you don't want to get out of stock, and you want to send them consistent sales signals, right? You want to run ad, you want to run affiliate marketing, you want to go on to TikTok Shop and utilize all revenue to get Amazon sees it in a way that, okay, this guy really the real deal. They always have a good amount of traffic driving to Amazon. They are converting new Amazon buyer into Prime user as well. And so, okay, now I know that I could put them into a page one constantly, right? And that's what we see is there. Like we use the email list that we get from the Kickstarter launch, or the lead gen from the product validation that we have got, and then we go on to run email campaign, right? And then we ask them to buy, we ask them to reviews, right? That is actually the search find buy back in the days, right? To be fair, search find buy still exists nowadays, but just like in different format. Back in the days, rebate key, the way that they really do it in the gray area, and like you search, you find, you buy. Right now, we use email to do that, and then we control how much to use them. Only send 2% of the email list each of the time, and your sales gonna grow. Your revenue, your review is gonna grow along with the email list that you have, with the different channel that you're driving from affiliate marketing to social commerce into your listing.
I see. What's interesting about what you're talking about a lot is for brands that are, selling private labels. So they've made a better mousetrap and they validated it, and up it goes, and people like it, and it sells. What about brands that are selling other people's products, and their sole brand is that the fact? I just give an example. Let's say someone's in the pickleball market, so they sell pickleball rackets from like 5 of the best brands, and the pickleballs, and then the apparel. None of it they make themselves, but they seem to be building a community around their brand with giving people the opportunities. This is really an SEO play, I think, on their website, saying, hey, from a keyword kind of concept, or a keyword cloud, or a topical authority, these people know a lot about pickleball, the professionals, and then just the end users, and then having access to all these different products. Some are drop shipped by partners of these particular brands. Some they may even, at some point, building a community, they might start bringing in their own, or create a private labeled brand to add on to the other premium brand. I just want to know what your mindset is around, because some people have created a private label, but then they want to diversify their income, so they start aligning themselves with other non-competitive product. You sell shoes, and you go to the best sock brand online, and you say, hey, I want to add your socks as an accessory to my business because I think it's complementary and we're non-competitive. And Shopify has a connector now where you can, the sock order can show up in the other person's admin, and they can fulfill the order on your behalf as if you sold it. I just want to know your mindset around that sort of thing, because there's the white label, and then there's like selling other people's stuff on your store.
Yeah. They do like for the wholesale community, right? That's what you mean.
Similar to wholesale, but you're still selling it retail. So you're buying it. Well, you're not actually buying, because I think a lot of these people now, from what I see, it's not, I guess it is a form of drop shipping, but it's more of a partnership arrangement. Where you have multiple SKUs available of other people's brands, but you are the brand.
We work with mainly private label sellers. And back in the days, because back in the days, like Amazon says that you can drop ship on Amazon. So everyone's just trying to scramble into a private label afterward. But then if you're on the drop shipping arrangement, kind of like a setup for a business, what I see is what you can do is utilize your existing audience, your email list,
right,
and then do well on your content, which is on TikTok Shop, right. And then you can still make a quick return on Amazon, because on Amazon, obviously, if you're doing those kind of drop shipping product, you might be not winning the buy box. But right. Sometimes all you need to do is just to do well on your Amazon content on the off Amazon, and then just bring in your affiliate traffics, use your affiliate links to buy your own product, and that will still give you quite a good revenue on Amazon.
Yeah. What about the influencer kind of creator side of selling product now? Because there's a lot of buzz, the social commerce right now, live selling by brands. And I think even like TikTok shops now is really for Gen Z and millennial buyers. It's a massively exploding, like products go viral. They almost run out of stock sometimes just because they just go ballistic. And it's so easy now with Shopify's connector to be able to check out on TikTok. And then have it show up in the admin. So just what's your thought? Have you seen any successes around this? Is this something that's interesting and new and upcoming for brands?
Definitely. That's something that we are doing for our client right now. And we are helping 4 brands growing their Amazon shop, TikTok shop right now. They're just killing it. I mean, I think TikTok shop is definitely the next trend right now. I won't say TikTok shop is going to be big in the next 2 years, as in like there's big potential, because whether or not if people can really pick up live purchase in the future, I think that would determine whether or not TikTok is going to be killing Amazon in the future, because that's what China's do. Right? In China, like they really use live stream to really convert 100%. People and go on the Taobao. But right now, it's still Amazon who is the one who are holding the purchasing power where they make the decision. Part is still not, it's not as trendy as China. But then let's talk about the TikTok shop point of views. Right now, because of the creator economy, influencer economy, we can just, you could have scale your influencer marketing campaign easier than ever, because in the past, like in the days, you publish to YouTube influencer one by one, and you might get like reject, you might get unequal, like kind of like a payment that we're talking about. Whereas right now in TikTok, we can work with influencer because they are building with the platform. In the platform, you can just put it on TikTok, saying that you're going to be providing this commission, and the influencer will just give you this. They will just promote you with the product, and then they'll just provide you with this commission. And that's why I would say, if you have done well on your PPC and on your deal setup, you should move on with TikTok immediately, because TikTok is actually the next easiest things. It's easier than media buying on Facebook and Google.
Yeah.
And it actually gives you a lot of like asset, UGC, that you can purpose in the future as a brand.
Very interesting. I went to your website kind of before recording today, and you have like a lot of case studies, from all different parts of kind of, your agency, from Meta ads and Google ads and Amazon ads. And I see some of UGC things and a lot of creative stuff. Is there anything like particularly that you feel is kind of noteworthy that you'd like to talk about and saying, hey, here's where they were before us. They had this challenge or whatever the problem was. And then, Omarant comes in and says, hey, no, here's the process and we can help you. And then you executed. And then what does great look like on the other side since you've been working together?
Sellers typically knows that they always have to launch product. Mm-hmm. And they normally see it's like the problem that they have is they're not sure whether or not the product is going to sell. They have developed maybe a different feature on the product, and then they will just think about whether or not they should launch it on Amazon first or not, or on Kickstarter first, or just on Shopify. So what we do is we step in and we help them evaluate. We have our product checklist on auditing whether or not the product is good enough. Is that like a generic product? Is that like a potential product? Is that like an expected product? And then we'll say, okay, this product is actually getting this kind of like a rating from our checklist, and therefore you could have launched in these 2 platforms, right? And then we just provide them with this like formula, how you want to do it. If you want to do it by yourself, and then we'll make sure that your success rate is going to be improved by 40%. So that's what we help our client do, like from just launching from a newbie who doesn't know whether or not they have a good brand, to whether or not a 7-figure seller, whether or not this product is a good fit for the brand. That's what we step in to help them discover.
Very cool. What about AI? I mean, it's a pretty hot topic too that's going on right now. I mean, AI is really affecting a lot of areas, from the customer support through data analysis through to content production. I think it's hitting all facets of an e-commerce brand. Like, since you're so close to the fold and you're involved with so many businesses and your own, where do you see AI really being the most impactful? I mean, even in ad creation, and like, it's just so much stuff going on. And like what do you see working today from an AI perspective?
AI. We love AI. We embrace AI in a way that I think we're quite pioneer on AI. I don't know. It's just like we we in the past we do a lot of photo shoot. Right now we use AI software to help us like develop the background that makes it like easier for us to just that is easier for our messaging when it comes to Facebook campaign.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
We also use AI to create UGC as well. Yeah, it's not just on TikTok. We also use AI to come up with UGC, which is like people talking, describing the benefit of their product, and then come up with a shots, and then we just launch on Facebook and keep testing. And then we test around like 50 different UGC per month. And then that really gave us drive the cost down. It makes the whole thing like so scalable. And then testing, it comes with our formula. And that's what we're doing on the AI side when it comes to UGC. We also use AI to also come up with the knowledge base as well. In just like internal organization, we have different clients, and in different client, whenever there's new people who join us, we will just upload all the information in there to make sure that our organization is like operating more efficient, because it's not going to be like, hey, whether or not if this brand is like selling in here or there. But then in that like knowledge base, we already tell them first thing first, don't ask me, ask the knowledge base first. And that really helps out on the merger, help the manager who don't really have to step in every single time. And then also, we also use AI agent as well. So imagine AI is more of like ChatGPT. Everyone just think of ChatGPT, but ChatGPT you have to keep communicating with them in order to get the result. Right? So what we do is we implement that with AI and automation. So AI agent means that if we want to create a script for our YouTube channel for one brand, right? What we do is we will just have this like setup as in like we have we have one agent that would know who need to execute different steps. So we just create template in each of the steps, and then in each of the steps we'll just give them the right command. So we just have to input the first two questions. Say we want to create a brand targeting this audience, and we want to have a different kind of number of words. Then it will just generate the whole post rather than just ChatGPT post, because in the AI agent, it will reference into the AI knowledge base that we have. And then it will know that, oh, that's a brand tone that they should use. And that's the past content that they will use. And then we have specific parts say, can you reference other blog that we've created in the past as well? So you could just include as a shameless plug into like a cross linking in the internal website. So that's the kind of like SEO things that we're doing for the blog post for our brand, for our like customer. And yeah, that's AI anyway. We don't just like have just one blog post things. We have like AI agent for shipment as well, with agent for the housing support, case reimbursement. Right. Just that saves lives.
Yeah. It's funny. I've actually written a little bit about this, and obviously I use multiple kind of AI tools for content production, even for podcasts, getting it set up and organized and thinking about intros and Q&A and all the different things. But I also find like from an e-commerce perspective, there's some really good AI powered kind of search algorithms like to enhance kind of like search and product discovery, understanding the customer's intent on the website, make it easier for shoppers. There's lots of tools. There's lots of other AI powered tools that people are using that really are enhancing the customer experience and making some intelligent recommendations, even in a chat bot. I know there's even some on-page opportunities where as people are, cruising through a website, and certain things that you're engaging with, it's like, oh, you keep looking at men's pants. Well, I'm not going to show a woman's purse. I'm just not. And then the AI starts getting really smart and thinking, okay, well, they're looking at this, and we know that people that have bought this have also bought this. So maybe we need to start showing that sort of stuff in other widgets as they continue to cruise around, because they might be interested in those pants. And if they bought those pants, we can prove with data that they're buying this belt. So let's make sure we show that belt too. They haven't bought either of them yet. Pretty smart.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And so I guess kind of wrap up a little bit, for today, but I guess for me, I'm trying to think about what kind of the next steps are for people, because I think that there's so many different, I'd say maturity levels of people that are listening today. There's some people that are kind of entrepreneurs. They're just in the early stages. I think we've learned a lot about this different 4-step process. of trying to figure out about how to launch a product. And I think that's very interesting that you have that opportunity where you can teach people exactly how to do it, and or you can do it for them. And so that's the early stage people. And then I think there's a lot of people kind of still in SMBs, still in startup mode, but they're starting to get some product market fit, but they know that it can be more. The business can do better. And so what do you say to the two different groups of people and how you believe you can help them?
For both groups, the way that we do it for newbies, we have a discovery call to help you find out whether or not your product is good enough to whether or not launch in different platforms. If that's what you want to look for, whether or not you should launch on Kickstarter or Shopify or Amazon first. Right. Go on to do discovery call in omrank.com, and we will be able to help you out. For those people who are a bit more mature, already went past multiple six figures already. Yeah. What you want to do is you want to get our audit checklist to see whether or not if your product has the potential for a bigger launch, for a or well-rounded launch that could build a community, because that's what a lot of sellers is lacking. They were just thinking just sell it on Amazon, but when Amazon suspended their account, when the China tariff gonna hit from Donald Trump, it's gonna be or it's gonna be gonna hit hard. And that's why I think the mindset should be shifting to building a real brand. To build a real brand, that's where we can help. To just go on to omrank.com or my LinkedIn to Dylan to go for a discovery call.
Yeah, this is lovely. I'll have all of this in the show notes. I've written a lot of notes today. I've learned a lot. I love your 4-step process. I totally agree with you that instead of investing all this money into something up front and not knowing, first of all, if there's engagement on it and the TAM, the total addressable market, and then understanding the data behind all of that, and then making a final commitment, I think that's a really good mindset and a strategy for people to follow. And then moving forward is just we have to be open-minded that as we get more traction on the product, we cannot forget about TikTok if this can resonate with Gen Z and millennial buyers. We're in Q4 right now. This is a really hot time right now. And I still think there's opportunity, if we can reach out to you directly, and I'll have all those details in the show notes, and people can kind of book a quick, an audit and just double check to see where's the business today and where do you believe it's headed. I just love the fact that you're an actual practitioner, that you are running multiple e-commerce businesses yourself. And so, because there's nothing better than being in the fold and doing it. It's great to talk about it, but you walk the walk. And I think that's really cool. And I just wanted to thank you so much for being honest and transparent and sharing that the opportunity is fantastic out there. And it's just a matter of what's the process and who are you aligning yourself with? And clearly, Omrank has done a great job in really helping a lot of brands. So.
Exactly. The econ is definitely dying. It's just the method that is dying.
Yeah. All right. Well, have yourself an absolute lovely evening. I know you're dialing in from overseas today. I really appreciate the flexibility of recording today, but have yourself a great evening.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Take care. Well, that's it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you personally for being a loyal listener of E-commerce Fastlane. It's my hope that this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, and exclusive insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company powered by Shopify. Thanks for investing some time today and listening to the show. I'm so proud and excited that you have a growth mindset and are a constant learner. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of the week and keep thriving with Shopify.